Welcome to another episode of Tech Talk Happy Hour. We're your hosts.
I'm Anthony.
Hey, I'm Jim. And what are we doing today, Anthony? Come on, man. You got some beers up here.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, so on our last episode, we talked about, I said I'd bring you a beer you never had. So I went and got Mistress Brewing. They're up in Ankeny. This is actually one I haven't had. They have a couple different beers that I really like. My favorite is probably their secondhand rose. It has a little bit of strawberry in it. But This one's a newer one that I haven't seen before that we picked out today. It's Mistress Daisy. It is an American lager, 7%. So
I can't wait.
Yeah, so let's just give it a shot. So I've already poured mine. Got you a can.
I think I'm going to pour one, and we're going to try this one out. Oh, boy, that's a nice pour.
It is. I'm excited for this one. Like I said, I haven't tried it yet. So, all right. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, buddy. Welcome to episode 3.
Episode 3. Wow. That's really good. Yeah, that is delicious.
I think that's a keeper.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's a keeper. So where is Mistress Brewery?
So they're up in Ankeny. For those that are local, if you take the main drag there, you'll find it.
Okay.
They have quite a few different beers. I like their slogan. It's a good beer behaving badly.
Well, it sounds like us.
So, yeah, exactly, right? So, like I said, they have a few different. Their strawberry, their secondhand rose is my favorite, but this is definitely on my list now.
Yeah.
They have a brewery right up there that you can rent out. Yeah, it's a good place. I highly recommend these guys. Just a good drink, just a good beer.
Well, where did you end up picking this up at? Did you drive to Ankeny to do this?
No. So they do have it in all the local stores. So Hy-Vee was where I mainly seen it.
Okay.
I'm sure you can get it at other places.
Okay.
But I've seen it at Hy-Vee. So that's
awesome.
where I picked this one up at Hy-Vee.
Well, hey, check it out, everybody. It seems like a pretty darn good beer. I just might have 2 or 3. Well, speaking of that, I know we've been talking since episode 1, and we're already on episode 3.
I know, right?
I can't believe it. But we've been talking since then that Anthony would have a beer I haven't had. He's proven correct, and it's fantastic. And I also said I'm going to bring on some tech that you don't have, and I actually have someone that's going to bring the tech on. Can we have Chad come in?
I'm excited. That takes talent right there.
That is talent.
That's talent.
That's talent big time. But
so what we have here is the Quest Oculus 2. The interesting thing about the Quest Oculus 2 is it's a standalone VR system, whereas opposed to the old ones you had to have connected to a gaming computer. This one acts completely independent. You can also use a gaming computer to stream any games to yourself. If you wanted to continue down the Gordon Freeman path of Half-Life, you would need either Oculus or Rift, and you would use a gaming computer in order to do that. But the beautiful thing about this is it is completely standalone. I am in pass-through mode right now, so I'm able to see Anthony and Jim's smiling faces.
freaks me out a little bit. So does that have to be connected to your computer all the time, Chad, or what's the deal with it?
It does not need to be connected to your computer all the time. It completely is standalone. Jim, if you could hand me the other wand there.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Wand away.
So it is completely free. I am completely untethered. I can play games on it. There is a library that allows you to, the Steam library, if you do want to wirelessly or be wired connected to a computer, will grant you access to a whole nother library of games, but it's not a requirement. It's pretty cool.
I remember the first time I played that, I actually played a roller coaster game, and I was terrible at it.
Jesus Christ!
Nope, fuck no. And I think the first time you played it, Anthony, you absolutely loved it and screamed for your wife to come down and said, "We gotta have one!"
So my biggest concern when I first tried it was motion sickness, because I get motion sickness very easy. So I don't know, either of you have any problems with it?
Let's bring Chad back in the frame. Come on in the frame. There you go, Chad.
I've never had the issue with motion sickness. I played a lot of first-person shooters, from clear back from Doom to Quake to Call of Duty, everything in between. So motion sickness has never really bothered me. I have heard of some people that do get a bit freaked out by this. An interesting other point of the Oculus 2 is that with the recent update, they've just cranked it up to 120 megahertz, which I've heard actually helps with motion sickness.
Okay.
And just like any video game, even way back in Nintendo, they do recommend that after no more than an hour, you take a break. The other thing is if you have kids under 10, they recommend that you don't let them play longer than 15 minutes because it can be harmful to their eyes, and as their eyes are developing.
So where do you buy it at?
Well, you can get it at your local Best Buy, any electronics store, Amazon. I personally got mine from Best Buy. And like any other electronic device, of course, there's all sorts of accessories. This particular one has an upgraded strap on the back of it, which allows you to easily tighten, kind of almost like a welding helmet, which is very handy. Jim still does have the foam pad. You can get a silicone pad, especially if you're a family and you're sharing this device. I recommend that just because you get sweaty and people get kind of freaked out about that. You can also add charging. I see Jim's got the magnetic charger on here, so there's actually a base station that you can drop it in and it charges. You also have the audio out, so you can actually plug in speakers. You can actually take the Rift part of it, they call it a Franken-Quest, and it will mount on there and there's speakers that come down to your head. There's all kinds of devices and add-ons for these things, but out of the box, they're pretty cool little units. The biggest thing I would say is if you get one, get the upgraded strap. You'll just be happier. It's just a happier, better experience.
I would definitely agree with it. The other strap just seemed, it's nice, but it seemed a little wonky. That one definitely dials into your head like a Frankenstein screw.
It does. It's got volume. The speakers on it are not bad. I personally use wireless earbuds for mine that connect Bluetooth. It's still kind of beta on these, but I've never had a problem with them. That works great. But just by itself, it's not bad. I wouldn't recommend getting the tethered one or tethered headphones. The issue is if you start moving around and everything, they always get hung up and they pull out your ear at the wrong time, and then all of a sudden, you lose the match.
And I would absolutely guarantee if you're going to use this thing, you're going to move around. We actually cleared the garage out one time, both cars out of the garage, and used it, and we didn't have enough room.
Right. So I've got a few friends that have this, and even though you can play online, you can talk to each other, it's almost fun to go to their house and do it. And so we're talking online and we're in the basement, and it was a pretty long basement, and I started at one end, he started at the other, and within 10 minutes, I ended up punching him in the mouth. We got so close playing some of the built-in games. The games are very reasonably priced. I think the most expensive game is $40. They do have a really nice return policy. I think it's 7 days or so much,
or so many hours,
of play time, which is really nice. It's a fun system, and actually people are using this to work out. Like they're Beat Saber and some of those games, they're getting a sweat on, and they're going and that's their workout, and it works really well.
Well, and before this, they had car beds. So one car bed could talk to another car bed.
Your bed is a car.
Yeah, but it's a fucking sweet car. My roommate said they're gonna get me rims for Christmas, or a CB radio. I can talk to other car beds.
You can do multiplayer in this. You can do VR.
You can.
Chats.
Another nice thing about these, for those of you that wear glasses, is there's actually a few companies that you can replace the lenses inside of here with actually your prescription, so you don't have to wear your glasses, because the glasses on here are kind of make it a little bit tough. But if you are a prescription wearer and you're worried about that, you can actually, I think it's like $70, but it actually replaces the actual Oculus lenses, and then your prescription, and everyone I've heard of that does that has just really, really appreciated it. Everything just looks super clear and crisp.
That's awesome. So what would be the advantage of, I'm not the gamer I used to be. I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm as good as I'll ever be. I'm going out, the big thing right now is the Xbox Series X or the PS5. For those of you that couldn't get that, I know Jim and I looked pretty hard. We lucked out, but what's the advantage of, why would it, if we're at Christmas time or birthday and somebody's looking at, I want to get a video game system for my kid, or for my husband or my wife, why do I go get the Oculus over a PlayStation?
Sure. I would say the biggest thing. So there's the, I call it the big three, but it's really the big two, right? It's Xbox or it's PlayStation, and then you have Nintendo Wii. That's always going to be there. More family oriented. It's gonna because they got Link and Zelda, and everyone likes Link and Zelda. The advantage over this is it's more interactive. You're getting that virtual thing. I know PlayStation's tried it with the Move, and Xbox tried it with the Kinect. It's just not the same as this thing. PlayStation's VR, while it's really cool and it was, I think, ahead of its time, it required so many tethered connections that you'd almost have to have somebody watch you play it so you didn't get tangled up in all the cords and everything. Where this is just, you could take this anywhere. You could take this on the plane and play it. I don't know if I would recommend it or not. There are people that are doing it. You can watch movies. I mean, it's got an app to where Jim and I could sit and pretend that we're in a theater and virtually watch a movie together that we could choose. So that's a benefit. As far as processing power, it's never going to beat the PS5 and the Xbox. I mean, look at the size of it. It's just never going to do.
Sure.
It's just a different experience. It's totally virtual. It gives you that VR experience where you're seeing your hands and you get kind of if you're going out like Jim did with his roller coaster, you got to get those butterflies in your stomach as you're going up and down, where I don't know if you really would get that in a traditional game, right? Well, you're using your body too. It picks you up as you're moving and that kind of thing, where a PlayStation or an Xbox, you're moving this.
Well, and touching on your point with movies, I downloaded one of their apps on there called Skybox, and which you can connect to your systems at home if you have movies and everything, and it does 3D.
It does do 3D.
It flawlessly does 3D movies.
Nice. I will say that one of the things that I really like about it, and I don't know why, I always, a shameless plug, Plex was one of our favorite apps.
Plex is fantastic.
And I know they have a VR app, and the Watch Together feature.
Yep, they do.
I mean, I think that's awesome. I'll admit that I watch most of my stuff at home with my family or whatever, but I think that would be cool if, hey, I know as my kids get older and my oldest moves away, that, hey, we want to watch a movie together.
You're going to get lonely and car beds aren't going to work anymore.
Exactly. So, but that is a very cool feature. I know there was a commercial a couple years ago. It was Jonah Hill and Adam Levine.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure that's who it was.
Okay.
You probably need to fact check that, but they were showing that feature, and I just think that was actually how I started Googling about VR. So,
well, Chad, thanks for reviewing that for us. It's fun. It's a great game.
It can be used for exercise. It can be used for entertainment. It's a fun little device.
Obviously, we all use it for exercise. Now that we've gone through the Oculus, we've had our Mistress beer, which I think there's 2 more left.
There are. We're gonna have to finish those because those were good beers.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I might need another Happy, Jim.
I'm buying those. You are going to get another Happy. But I have a question. Why initially did our guest Chad bring 3 glasses of ice? Is there an explanation for this?
I almost forgot.
Well, I'm not opening this yet. Then I'll save it.
So what is it? Well, what is this?
Well, funny you should say that. So, for everyone that knows me, there's a bar that we go to, the Iowa Distillery here in Cumming, Iowa. And one of the drinks they made is they've named the Wool. Apparently, I say well or a lot.
He does.
And you probably noticed that during this recording. But so it's all my friends. They're not here right now, but my friends.
We're not friends.
No. We're just interviewing.
We're acquaintances.
They have modified well to wool. And so the good friends at Iowa Distillery have coined a drink after that, and they call it the Wool. And so, because this is Tech Talk Happy Hour, I would like to show you the happy hour part of it. So, when I'm playing my Oculus Quest 2, I like to cool down with a refreshing Wool.
So Chad's going to show us the Happy.
I think he's going to show us the happier.
Awesome.
I will. So,
Anthony showed us the happy, but you're going to show us the happier.
So there's 2 kinds of vodka at the Iowa Distillery. This is Swell. They also have their Zone. Their Zone, I guess, would be their higher end vodka. You can tell a little bit of a difference, but this is pretty darn good. So we're going to add a little swole to the Wool.
Yeah, I've heard I'm going to add a little before from Jim. So
Anthony's not a fan of some of my mixed drinks.
And then this is the secret. So I originally started with blueberry syrup, and the bartender out there said, nope, it's better with blackberry. So it didn't matter how I ordered it. I just got it with blackberry syrup. You can get this on Amazon. The Iowa Distillery makes their own. Unfortunately, they can't sell it due to certain rules, but you can find this on Amazon.
Right.
It's Monin, M-O-N-I-N.
okay.
And one bottle of this will last you a long time.
Oh, it's so good.
So you put a couple dollops in here.
Could you explain a dollop as you're doing that?
Well, it's more than
1001, 1002?
Yeah, it's more than a teaspoon, but it's less than 2 teaspoons. It's a dollop.
Okay.
And then club soda. Pretty simple.
And just make sure you don't chad your club soda.
Yes.
No one needs to chad.
Yes, make sure you crack it and open it over a sink or anything if you traveled with it, because that creates a mess. And we've got our local Iowa Fairway branded club soda here. Any club soda will work.
I'm getting pretty excited to try this.
Yeah, that looks good. I'm a beer guy, but this looks definitely delicious.
All right. Well,
Well,
Well, cheers, boys.
cheers.
cheers.
I think that's definitely a winner.
That is
Awesome.
very tasty.
Thanks for bringing
Very
that to Tech
tasty.
Talk Happy Hour. And the words of our drink that we're having tonight, whoa,
So for our next episode, Whale, I will bring the newest Apple TV. I will show a review of the newest Apple TV, which I just picked up. And
That'd be great.
I'm really liking it a lot.
yeah.
You bring the drink next. You bring the happy next time.
I'm going to bring the Happy. I may bring the Happy Plus.
Hey,
That could be crazy. Well, I'll tell you what, we've had a great time. We want to thank Chad Leeper for taking time out today
thanks, Chad.
of his schedule to hang out with us. I want to thank Anthony, as always,
Thanks, Jim.
for being here. Well, thank you, man. We always have a good time.
We do.
And I think we'll round it out. Anthony always wanted to have a house band to end our episode. So we're going to rock with this guy. He happens to have the same last name as I do. One of my cousins that lives in California. And he's just a shredding beast. So we're going to go out with that. Thanks. We'll see you next time. Like and subscribe.
Yes, like and subscribe. And thanks to you, Bob.
Yeah, let's go.
Thank you.